we are, born to be kings. We're the princes of the universe.
Welcome to Werezilla's Retrospective. I'm your host, Werezilla. By the off chance anyone watching my videos happens to be able to live forever, protect your neck! Cause if Highlander has taught me anything, it's that decapitations negates the whole immortal concept.
Remember Highlander? I hope so. It was an interesting film about immortal people locked in a dangerous game over the course of history where they must fight each other and decapitate their opponents until only one survives. You probably remember it for the awesome Queen soundtrack and seeing Raiden fight Mr. Krabs in a sword battle.
Wow, when you put it that way, it actually makes it sound really stupid. Oh wait, Werezilla's Retrospective is all about the stupid.
Speaking of the focus of this show, it's actually a shame that Highlander is a franchise at all. Because right from the get-go, it establishes immortals battle are not going to last forever. Eventually, only one is going to be left. It's the movie's catchphrase for crying out loud. And despite the movie ending with, surprise surprise, protagonist Connor MacLeod as the only one left, odds are any chance of spin-offs or sequels are doomed to failure.
And failure is exactly what we get in the second film, Highlander 2, The Quickening, proving sometimes it is better to fade away than burn out.
So the film opens in 1999, and Al Gore's worst nightmare.
Today's top story is the ozone layer. It continues to disintegrate, taking with it our protection from the sun's rays.
Only a few months now until the ozone layer is completely gone.
Yeah, I remember when it happened too. The price of air conditioners went through the roof. We see Connor MacLeod working with scientists to build a shield around the planet to block the sun's rays.
That is probably the dumbest idea to stop greenhouse effect I've ever seen, and that includes Futurama's dropping an iceberg in the ocean every once in a while.
And we see the effects of that 25 years later, as the world is eternally dark, and technology has regressed because the sun makes technology improve, apparently. We see Connor attend an opera performance at a theater with the blandest name ever, and he gets so bored he actually starts to hear the voice of his dead mentor, Ramirez.
Remember, Highlander. Remember your home. Another galaxy. You were chosen. Remember?
Yes. Yes, I remember. The beginning. 500 years ago. On the planet Zeist.
What did you just say?
500 years ago. On the planet Zeist.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Say, remember all those flashback scenes of Connor living in Scotland and discovering his immortality that resulted in him and his wife Heather getting ousted from their village? Good, because the movie doesn't, since now Connor is apparently a former alien rebel from the planet Zeist.
Can you get any more removed from the previous film? Can you possibly jump the shark any higher?
Do I even need to tell you?
Yeah, I'm almost afraid to ask.
So Connor and the rest of the rebellion are called together by Ramirez, who, despite revealing in the first movie he was an Egyptian pretending to be a Spaniard, he is also an alien from Zeist, apparently. Look at Sean Connery and how embarrassed he is to be in this movie. In fact, so is Christopher Lambert. Ramirez points out that Connor has a great destiny because he's the protagonist of the first movie. Hey, that's a better explanation than what we get here.
Let him show himself. Let him feel the quickening.
You mean that thing that happens when an immortal decapitates another immortal and absorbs their power? Something that was already established as something else entirely?
It's almost like the people who made this film didn't even see the first movie. Hey, what are you looking at?
The shark. It's jumping out of the atmosphere. It's going.
It's gonna end up on friggin' Zeist, isn't it?
Most likely.
However, the rebellion is quickly massacred by the evil General Katana, played by Michael Ironside, who also looks embarrassed to be here. He quickly captures Connor Ramirez and banishes them to Earth. So your solution to a rebellion, rather than just kill these two right now on Zeist, where they are immortal, you banish them to Earth, where they will be immortal.
You see? Your stupid minds! Stupid!
Alright, that's enough continuity screwing flashbacks. Let's move on to a bad composite shot. A group of terrorists break into one of the S.H.I.E.L.D. facilities, and their leader, Louise, discovers the ozone is back to normal.
The ozone layer repaired itself after just 25 years. I point out how stupid that is, but I assume you're smarter than the filmmakers.
So after Connor gets harassed by two-ton Tessie here, Louise tries to inform Connor of the Ozone's recovery and that the S.H.I.E.L.D. Corporation is up to something. We cut back to Zeist, where Katana orders a pair of the most conspicuous assassins I've ever seen to go kill Connor. Now, 3 decades after he defeated the Kurgan and became the last immortal. If he didn't go back to Zeist then, he's never going to, moron. If you're worried he's a threat to you, wait until he dies on Earth. He's mortal now. Even the assassins think this is stupid. The assassins arrive on Earth, and despite Connor being a frail old man, or rather Lambert in makeup using an unconvincing old man voice, they can't kill him. These guys have swords and lasers. Connor has a steel pipe. You idiots suck at assassination! Oh sure, one destroys a cop car and the other sets Chester A. Bum on fire, but they're not your target. The Brotherhood of Assassins would not approve. Instead, Connor decapitates one on accident with a car, and then purposefully decapitates the other with the sharpest wire ever. Oh, and the resulting quickening to restore his youth. Why did this happen? No reason, that's why. He also cries out for Ramirez during the second quickening, which resurrects him. This also happens for no reason. Ramirez finds himself on the set of Hamlet and can't tell that he is on a stage. And while this scene does make Ramirez look like a complete dunce, it does lead to the only funny exchange in the entire movie.
Here hung those lips that I have kissed I know not how oft.
Sir, whatever you gentlemen felt for each other when your friend was still alive is certainly none of my affair.
What's your fucking game, shithead?
Shithead? What's a shithead?
Look this movie up on IMDb. I'll show you about 100 of them.
Okay, I had to get one reference in there.
My apologies. Enough of this useless banter. I shall be on my way and leave you to converse with your scum. Farewell, dear shithead.
I'm guessing that's how Sean Connery said goodbye to the film's director on opening night. Connor meets back up with his scientist friend who worked on the S.H.I.E.L.D. with him, revealing the ozone layer's repaired. He then proceeds to meet the head of the S.H.I.E.L.D. Corporation, who turns out to be Dr. Cox.
Actually, Mr. McLeod, we prefer to think that we protect the population of the planet from death by solar radiation. It is a rather unique service, don't you agree?
As long as it's necessary.
Meaning?
Maybe one day the ozone layer will repair itself.
That would indeed be a great day for the human race, wouldn't it? But it really makes no difference anymore, since you built the shield to last forever.
Nothing lasts forever.
Sure, make it more obvious you're a money-grubbing douchebag committing the greatest scam in history. Seriously, am I the only one seeing the gaping flaw in the good doctor's plan? Charging people to keep the shield up despite the ozone being back to normal? If people don't pay, that means he would have to turn the shield off. But with the ozone back to normal, it would just reveal the scam. And even if it wasn't resorted and the people didn't pay anyway, what are you gonna do? Turn off the shield and kill everyone on the planet? Including yourself?
No. Bastard of the year. Don't you tell me. Guy I despise so much, I'd pay someone to kill you and stuff you and leave you by my bed so that when I wake up in the morning, I could roll over and punch you in the face. Of the year.
Katana decides it's time to he fought Connor in person, so he arrives on Earth. So naturally the first thing he does is go looking for Connor. Oh no, wait, I'm sorry. First he derails a subway car for no reason. Is anyone detecting a pattern here? He and Connor confront each other, where Connor points out just how flawed this whole premise is.
You're not coming back to Zeist, McLeod.
I never planned to. After all this time, I was ready to kick back, grow old, and die. Then you send those spunks down here. You changed everything. And now I'm back to square one, immortal, again.
Yes, the flaw is actually so obvious that Connor has to spell it out to Katana why he sucks as a villain. Woohoo.
The shark has reached his ice now.
Why did it take him this long?
Katana takes a taxi to the S.H.I.E.L.D. Corporation and vandalizes the cabbie's ride for no reason. He then goes to Dr. Cox so he can get his hands on Connor. This is also for no reason. Ramirez meets up with Connor and the two break into the S.H.I.E.L.D. Corporation, where Connor and Louise find Connor's scientist friend, who has been tortured to death for revealing Connor the truth.
We did right to build it, didn't we?
We did. I won't forget you.
This character will never be mentioned again. Connor, Ramirez, and Louise get stuck in a room with a huge spinning fan. Hey, I'm getting deja vu. And Ramirez, uses his life to stop it. I don't know, it doesn't make any sense. And what was the point of bringing back Ramirez when he was just gonna die again anyway? Moving on, Louise holds off the soldiers while Connor faces off against Katana. Does this climax sound interesting? No, I didn't think so.
There can be only one.
Yawn. I'm so bored. So Connor steps into the beam, destroying the shield for good.
Remember, Highlander, you've both still got your full measure of life. Use it well, and your future will be glorious.
What kind of shit ending is that?
And what was accomplished overall? What did this story achieve?
Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
What a mess. Characters do things, not because they have any actual motive, but because if they didn't, there'd be no movie. The film's attempt to create a new plot actually contradicts what we saw in the first movie, mainly retconning the Immortals as aliens. That doesn't fit at all with what we saw before. This doesn't even feel like it belongs to the same genre as the first Highlander, much less the same series.
But let's be hypothetical. What if this wasn't a Highlander sequel? What if they replaced Connor and Ramirez with original characters and called the movie something else? Would it be any better?
No! The plot of the shield covering Earth to protect it from the sun has enough holes that even making an original film about that would make the movie even more infamous than it already is. Not for ruining Highlander, but instead for a sloppy environmental message and stolen visuals from Blade Runner. Even if the shield plot and alien backstory were kept for an original film, neither is relevant to each other. Dr. Cox would still be a douche with faulty attempt to make money off the world, and Katana would still be a villain who only acts because the plot calls for him to. Cause if he thought his plans through, he would realize not acting would actually benefit him more than getting involved.
So you know what? To hell with Highlander 2, and to hell with bad movies in general. I want to watch something good. Something that's stupid so it fits the criteria, but still something that's actually good. But what could it be? Yeah. That ought to do nicely.
Give me the prize!